I regret selling Palantir at $20. Hello everyone, welcome to Stockertim, the Investors channel. Today we are going to be talking about stock market stories, regrets and gains. So we have one case study that we are going to look at together. We have Mr. X, who we are not going to actually mention their name. We will say Mr. X. This story actually went viral on social media. So Mr. X said he regretted selling Palantir stock at $20 and he used the entire stake to buy SoFi Technologies. And it was so big of a regret that Mr. X actually wrote a detailed thread on X, and I'm going to actually share this story with you, and I'm also going to go under the hood to analyze these two stocks, to also perhaps share more lessons, share more understanding to the community, to anyone who is a retail investor, and also how you can actually avoid these kinds of stories as such or regrets in the future. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, put on a notification bell so that you don't miss any update, and please give this video a like, because it's going to really be an interesting episode. So come with me. So a few days ago, we picked up a story on X. The person who we are talking about, who we said we are not going to mention the person's handle on the investment community on X, the open community on X. The person actually said they regretted selling Palantir at $20. And apart from regretting that they regretted, selling Palantir at $20, the person who started this viral tweet said he used the entire 400,000 euros to buy the stock of SoFi Technologies. SoFi Technologies is a digital bank in the US that became very popular around COVID period. They came into the stock market and they listed, and since then the stock really has left a huge very hole in the pocket of investors that bought the stock. Now let's get this straight. This episode is not to mock anyone or to actually praise anyone. It's just to share real life experience of retail investors like you and I, and what you can learn from the mistakes or things that they did right, and how you can improve your investment journey, and now you can also learn and gain from what we also offer on this channel, which I'm going to share with you just in a moment. So Mr. X actually did that trade, and he said he sold close to about 400,000 euro worth of Palantir shares when the stock was around $25. Yeah, he made some money, but if you look at where Palantir stock is today, the stock is now trading as we speak, around $123 per share, and he sold it at as low as $20 per share. That's a huge a huge gain that has been wasted or lost. And under that trade, a whole lot of people actually came under the trade and they regretted that they sold the stock. Now, full disclosure on Palantir, on Stockertim, we've been investing in this stock since the last 4 years or thereabout, and is the largest holding in our portfolio. And we also have a whole lot of other stocks that we recommend that are on our watch list of the picks for the year. What am I trying to actually bring home? As a retail investors, we need to actually understand that we need to do more research. We need to do more due diligence before we sell or buy any stock. We should not, under any guise, try and react and also be emotional with our investment, because at the end of the day, it is not whether you've sold, it is whether you are actually part of a journey. You are actually part of a business. you know that this business has solid foundation, and you are able to actually follow the story. You are able to do your research. You are able to actually see how this business is going to grow for the next 5, 10, 15 to 20 years. So I'm going to show you these two stocks, and we'll see what we can learn from that. So by barely looking at these two charts, is a no-brainer that Palantir compared to SoFi Technologies is a success. So SoFi Technologies, since this stock has been listed on the stock market, it has only returned about 22%. Compare that to Palantir. Palantir has returned over 1,239% as we speak, because the market is actually open now. Now let's even go back in the last 1 year to even see what has really happened to SoFi Technologies. And as you can see, the stock, despite all-time return of 12%, in the last 1 year, it's done a bit better. But if you compare it with Palantir, what Palantir has done, it's just a very, very little return. 82% might look very good for somebody who just got into this stock. But if you have bought this stock since when this company listed, if I go back to the chart, you could actually see that you haven't really gained so much, especially if you don't actually buy a whole lot of units. So as a lesson, one thing we always recommend is that apart from doing your due diligence, you also need to understand how valuation of companies actually work. SoFi Technologies, the company looks very, very interesting. They even have a stadium that is named after the company. Palantir doesn't even have a single stadium or a single building in the US, branded on the name of the company. Palantir is not even known by so many people who, the average person you meet on the street. But investing, the stock market, financials of companies and valuation is totally different from the hype. What happened to SoFi Technologies is similar to what happened to a lot of SPAC companies. A lot of companies who listed through a merger with companies who are more or less shell companies on the stock market. The challenge with this kind of listing, or companies who quote their shares from this kind of arrangement, is that they have so many things that they don't actually disclose: the weakness of the business, the lack of competition, strength that they have, the kind of debt profile that they have, the kind of expensive cost that they actually run. So that's why you don't necessarily rush to buy a SPAC company when they list almost immediately. You want to actually give that company several years. And as a matter of fact, IPO stocks generally, yes, when Palantir listed, the company actually, if you go back in time, you can actually see that the stock went as high as, at this point, as high as $50. But the stock, what happened? It crashed, and the company took time to actually grow, to actually find its way up. As high as over $50 here, the stock actually, suffered several years of pain, of growth, of try and error. But one thing that stood out in the story of Palantir and SoFi Technologies is that Palantir in its own right is a leader in what they do. So if you are valuing a business, is this business a leader in what they do? Do they have a unique technology that is not just a hype? Because SoFi is just a bank. It's just a digital bank. So if the likes of JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the likes of Barclays and the rest, if they have been in the business for several years and they don't necessarily say they are tech companies, and their returns don't also mirror the return of a tech company. So just know that when you are buying a bank, you don't necessarily expect mega returns, especially in the first few years of the life of the company. So that's that about the story of Mr. X, who actually regretted selling Palantir at 20. At Stockertim, we have been buying Palantir at $6, and you can see how the story has come. That doesn't mean that every stock you buy is going to perform as Palantir has done. That doesn't mean Palantir stock wouldn't even go down, and that's why you need that guidance to actually understand how to value companies, to know when to buy, how to buy. Of course, you have to actually do your due diligence. Of course, what we do is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Your capital is also at risk. But what we are actually bringing to you, which I will close on this note, is the coaching, is the guidance, is also to show you where to look, how to look, where to buy, and how you can actually do your own due diligence down the line. So come with me. So for that purpose, that's why we've started Stockertim Premium, just to make sure we provide guidance on stock picks. How can you actually pick stocks, do your due diligence. We provide exclusive analysis that provides guidance through videos, through email newsletter that goes straight into your inbox 3 times in a week. Yes, like I said, it's not financial advice, it's coaching. You still have to do your own homework. You still have to put in the real work, because Palantir was down to $6 from $50 when it listed, and today it's over $123 going to $125. So you still have to actually know that there's risk to your capital. This is long-term investment. It's not get rich quick, and this just comes for just a fraction, for just $10 for every quarter. You get access to coaching, stock picks, video analysis that actually gives you understanding of how the market works, how to actually pick stocks to build a long-lasting portfolio. So I enjoin you today to actually subscribe. I'm going to drop the link to actually subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll be added to the newsletter. You get a welcome message, or now you can actually join the Stockertim Premium community to actually start learning how to pick stocks, how to choose stocks that you can grow with for the next 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and for you to actually build a solid portfolio. So thank you so much for watching this story on someone who regretted on buying Palantir. Let me know your feedback. Is there any stock that you actually regretted selling, or even you sold Palantir maybe at 10, 15, 20, 30, or 40? Let me know in the comment section. And also, please look into joining this community so that you get the best knowledge that you actually need to go forward. Thank you. Take care and bye-bye. I see you in the next one.